The overconfident invasion begins. The Xi Empire had conquered over 100 planets. Their fleet, massive and unstoppable, had left countless civilizations in ruins. To them, Earth was just another weak planet, another easy victory. Grand Admiral Varrax, commander of the Doombringer Armada, stood tall on the bridge of his flagship. His crimson eyes gleamed with arrogance as he observed the blue and green planets spinning below. Humans, he muttered with disgust. Primitive, unworthy, and hopelessly fragile. The Xi had studied Earth for decades. They had intercepted human broadcasts, monitored their wars, and analyzed their technology. Their conclusion: Earth was doomed. The planet's weapons were outdated, its fleet was laughable, and its people were divided. It would be an easy conquest, one that would take mere hours. The alien armada, over 1,000 warships strong, hovered above Earth, their dark metallic hulls gleaming under the sunlight. Each ship carried enough firepower to destroy an entire city. The invasion was about to begin. Humanity watches in fear. On Earth, panic spread like wildfire. News channels broadcasted live footage of the colossal alien fleet filling the sky. Cities went into lockdown. Governments scrambled to prepare a response. But deep inside, many world leaders believed the same thing. This was the end. In underground bunkers, military commanders watched the alien fleet with grim expressions. "There's no way we can fight that," one officer whispered. "Their firepower is off the charts." Even the most advanced Earth warships, stationed in orbit, looked like toys compared to the alien vessels. Humanity had seen alien invasions in movies, but now it was real, and there was no hero coming to save them. The arrogance of the Xi. Admiral Varrax turned to his second-in-command, Commander Xalzur, and smirked. "Look at them. Running. Hiding. These humans have no honor. They will kneel before us soon." Xalzur chuckled, his sharp fangs glistening. "Shall we begin, Admiral?" Varrax gave a slow nod. "Yes, begin planetary bombardment. Show them the power of the Xi. The first wave of Xi warships moved into position, their cannons charging up. The plan was simple: wipe out military bases, destroy major cities, and break humanity's will within the first few hours. Across Earth, people watched in horror as fiery streaks appeared in the sky. The first alien attacks. The world braced for the destruction to come. A sudden, unexpected resistance. Then, something strange happened. As the alien warships fired their plasma cannons, they expected to see cities explode in flames. But instead, the blasts disappeared. Admiral Varrax frowned. "What?" "Report." A Xi officer checked the readings. His scales turned pale. "Admiral, our attacks were intercepted." Varrax's eyes narrowed. "By what?" Then came the first human counterattack. From the surface of the planet, hundreds of missiles launched into the sky. The Xi laughed. These primitive weapons were useless against their advanced shields. But as the missiles got closer, they split apart into thousands of smaller warheads, each wrapped in strange energy fields. And then, they hit. Boom! Explosions ripped through the first line of Xi warships. 5 alien cruisers vanished in a single fiery blast. Debris scattered across the sky. The Xi commanders gasped in shock. Impossible. Admiral Varrax's confidence wavered. How? Their weapons should be ineffective against our shields. Commander Xalzur's claws tapped nervously on the control panel. "Admiral, I believe they have technology we did not predict." Varrax clenched his fists. "So, the humans are not as weak as they seem." He growled, then barked a new order. "Send the second wave. Crush them before they can fight back." But deep down, for the first time in his life, Varrax felt something unfamiliar. Doubt. As he watched more human defenses activate, he began to wonder. Had they made a mistake? The battle had only just begun. On Earth, inside a secret military base, General Carter watched the destruction of the first HFY warships with narrowed eyes. He turned to his officers. "They thought we were defenseless," he said. "They were wrong. Humanity had been preparing for this moment for years. The HFY thought they were attacking a primitive world, but Earth had its own secrets." Carter leaned forward. "Send out the Valkyrie squadrons. It's time to show these aliens why humanity never surrenders." As sleek, high-speed human fighter jets launched into the skies, one thing became clear. This was not going to be an easy conquest. For the first time, the HFY had found an enemy who would not bow. And the war for Earth had just begun. Humanity's first response. The HFY Empire had expected a swift and effortless victory. The destruction of 5 warships in the opening minutes of the invasion was not part of their plan. On the Doombringer, Admiral Varrax clenched his claws against the command panel. His red eyes glowed with frustration as reports came in. Human forces were fighting back, and they were hitting hard. "They got lucky," he growled. "They cannot keep this up." He turned to Commander Xalzur. "Deploy the second wave. No more playing. Burn their cities. Crush their defenses." Xalzur hesitated. "Admiral, their weapons, they are more advanced than we predicted." Varrax let out a low snarl. "I don't care. We outnumber them. We overpower them. Destroy them." The second wave of HFY warships surged forward, preparing for a full-scale assault. But humanity was ready. The unseen defense of Earth. Deep beneath the Earth's surface, inside Fort Exodus, General Carter stood in a heavily fortified command center, surrounded by holographic battle maps and blinking red alerts. "All right," he muttered, watching the enemy fleet reposition. "Time to show them what Earth is really made of." For years, world governments had prepared for an invasion like this. The HFY had assumed Earth was weak because of outdated satellites and civilian broadcasts. But they never saw the real defenses. Carter issued a single order. Activate Project Eclipse. The HFY discover Earth's secret. In orbit, as the second wave of HFY warships entered attack formation, something strange happened. Their radar systems glitched. Their targeting computers froze. And then, without warning, their shields collapsed. Panic erupted on the Doombringer. "Admiral," an officer shrieked, "something is disrupting our systems. We are blind." Varrax's claws tightened. How? What did they do? Unknown to the HFY, Earth had launched a hidden orbital weapon. A massive space station cloaked in stealth technology. Project Eclipse. This station emitted an advanced EMP field capable of disrupting enemy technology, while keeping Earth's own systems operational. It was humanity's trump card, and it was working. The once invincible HFY warships became vulnerable. Humanity strikes back. From Earth's military bases, a second wave of counterattacks launched. Hypersonic missiles screamed toward the disabled alien ships. Orbital railguns fired rounds capable of punching through even the strongest hulls. Squadrons of human fighter jets, sleek and fast, engaged enemy bombers before they could attack cities. The sky lit up with fire. Within minutes, another 10 HFY warships exploded in massive fireballs. On the Doombringer, Varrax could only watch in stunned silence as his mighty fleet was being torn apart. This is not possible," he whispered. Commander Xalzur's voice was barely above a whisper. "They were ready for us. The humans are winning. For now." Across the world, people watched in disbelief. The massive alien fleet that was supposed to conquer Earth in hours was now losing. In underground bunkers, soldiers cheered as alien ships exploded one after another. On the streets, civilians who had expected to be enslaved or killed now saw something incredible. Humanity was fighting back, and they were winning. But General Carter knew better. "This isn't over," he muttered. He turned to his officers. "Prepare the Valkyrie squadrons. We're going to finish this fight. As the XI carry forces struggled to regroup, Earth's most elite pilots prepared to launch. The battle was far from over, and humanity wasn't done fighting yet. The hidden human weapon. The battle for Earth had taken an unexpected turn. The XI carry fleet, once confident in their overwhelming superiority, was now in disarray. Their second wave had been crippled, their shields disabled by an unknown human weapon, and their warships were being torn apart by Earth's counterattack. On the Doombringer, Admiral Varrax stared at the battlefield, his face twisted in disbelief. "How is this happening?" he growled. His war fleet had crushed entire civilizations without resistance. How could a primitive species like humans be fighting back? Commander Xalzur, his second-in-command, studied the tactical display. His claws tapped nervously on the control panel. "Admiral, Earth's defenses are not what we thought. They have technology we didn't predict." Varrax's tail lashed in frustration. "Find out what they are using. I want answers. Now." And then, a new threat emerged. Project Eclipse, Earth's secret weapon. The XI carry had assumed Earth's greatest strength was its numbers. They were wrong. Humanity's true weapon was something far more dangerous, Project Eclipse. Hidden inside a massive cloaked space station, orbiting the dark side of the moon, Project Eclipse had remained a ghost until the moment it was needed. Now its purpose was clear: disrupt, disable, and destroy enemy fleets. It worked in three ways: EMP pulses, overloaded alien shields and weapon systems; eye-hacking warfare, jammed communications and targeting systems; advanced railguns, fired kinetic projectiles at near-light speeds, piercing even the strongest warship armor. Inside the control room of Project Eclipse, Dr. Evelyn Grant, the lead scientist, watched the chaos unfold. Her team had spent years building Earth's ultimate defense system. Now it was finally proving its worth. A young technician turned to her. "Doctor, the enemy fleet is breaking formation. They're panicking." Evelyn smirked. "Good. Let's keep it that way." She turned to the weapons officer. "Fire another EMP burst. Make them blind." The order was given. A wave of invisible energy surged through space, sweeping across the XI carry fleet. Instantly, dozens of enemy ships went dark. The XI carry are powerless. On the Doombringer, red warning lights flashed across the control room. "Our targeting systems are failing. Shields are down on multiple ships. Communications are disrupted. We can't reach the fleet." Admiral Varrax slammed his fist onto the command table. "Enough," he roared. "We are the XI carry. We do not fear lesser species. We will adapt. We will crush them." But deep down, for the first time in his long military career, Varrax felt something alien to him. Fear. Had they underestimated humanity? Had they made a terrible mistake? Then, another explosion rocked his ship. His eyes widened in shock. "Who is attacking us now? Enter the Valkyrie squadrons." The answer came in the form of fire and steel. Through the chaos of the battle, a new group of human ships emerged, sleek, black, and incredibly fast. These were no ordinary fighters. They were Valkyrie-class warplanes, the pride of Earth's elite space force. Piloted by the best humanity had to offer, these ships were designed to outmaneuver, outgun, and outfight anything the enemy had. At the front of the squadron was Commander James "Shadow" Carter, the best pilot in the fleet. He smirked inside his helmet as he locked onto an enemy warship. "Time to introduce ourselves." He pressed the trigger. A streak of plasma fire lanced through space, striking a Sci-fi battleship at its weak point. The entire ship detonated in a fiery explosion. The battle had now entered its deadliest phase. Earth wasn't just defending itself anymore. Now, humanity was going on the offensive. The XI carry's last stand begins. Admiral Varrax watched in horror as his fleet was torn apart from all sides. His shields were gone. His warships were falling. Human fighters were tearing through his fleet like predators hunting prey. The XI carry, once so certain of their victory, now faced the unthinkable. They were losing. Varrax's fists clenched. He refused to accept defeat. We still have weapons. We still have firepower. Order all ships. Bombard Earth. If we cannot have this world, we will burn it. Zalzur's scales paled. Admiral, our weapons are being intercepted. Every attack is failing. Varrax felt rage boiling inside him. How are they stopping us? And then, the final nail in the coffin arrived. A new blip appeared on the radar. The remaining XI carry officers gasped in horror. Zalzur whispered, "Admiral, there's another human fleet incoming." Varrax turned slowly to the screen, and what he saw shattered his spirit. Hundreds of human warships, Earth's full battle fleet, were now arriving to end this invasion once and for all. The XI carry had walked into a death trap. Varrax had one final thought before the battle truly reached its climax. We have underestimated humanity, and now we will pay the price. Humanity strikes back. The XI carry fleet, once feared across the galaxy, was crumbling. Their ships, once thought invincible, were being ripped apart by Earth's counterattack. Admiral Varrax watched from the Doombringer, his claws gripping the control panel. His empire had never faced a battle like this, an enemy that fought back harder than they ever expected. His second-in-command, Commander Zalzur, spoke in a hushed tone. "Admiral, we must retreat." Varrax snapped his head toward him. "Retreat? Are you a coward?" Zalzur's expression darkened. "No, Admiral. I am a survivor." The bridge fell silent. The truth was clear. The XI carry were losing. The final assault begins. From Earth's underground command center, General Carter stood before a massive holographic display of the battlefield. His voice was cold, decisive. "Begin the final assault. Let's finish this." The order was sent. From every major military base on Earth, missiles launched into the sky. Their targets, the remaining XI carry warships. At the same time, Earth's main battle fleet surged forward, engaging the aliens in a full-scale attack. Heavy cruisers fired their railguns, blasting through alien hulls. Stealth bombers weaved through enemy fire, dropping plasma torpedoes on vulnerable XI carry ships. The Valkyrie squadrons led the charge, tearing through enemy fighters with precision strikes. The battle had shifted. The hunters had become the hunted. The doom of the XI carry fleet. On the Doombringer, Admiral Varrax could no longer deny the truth. "We underestimated them," he whispered. His fleet was decimated. More than 80% of their ships had been obliterated. The once proud Doombringer armada was now a graveyard of burning wreckage. A XI carry officer turned, his voice filled with desperation. "Admiral, orders." Varrax hesitated. In the past, he had crushed enemies without mercy. He had never faced a battle where his side was the one losing. Zalzur spoke carefully. "Admiral, if we do not retreat now, we will all die." Varrax closed his eyes. He hated this, but he knew the battle was lost. He took a deep breath. "Order a retreat." The surviving XI carry ships turned away from Earth, activating their hyperspace drives. But humanity had one last surprise. No escape for the invaders. Just as the remaining XI carry ships prepared to flee, a new energy field appeared. "Admiral," an officer shouted, "our FTL drives are not responding." Varrax's eyes widened. "What?" Then the answer came, a gravitational disruption field. Humanity had deployed their last secret weapon. A massive satellite array in Earth's orbit had activated a gravity well generator, a device capable of preventing faster-than-light travel in a specific area. The XI carry were trapped. Varrax realized the horrifying truth. There would be no retreat, no survival. This wasn't just a battle. It was an execution. The end of the XI carry invasion. Earth's forces closed in for the final attack. Railguns fired. Missiles struck. Alien ships exploded one after another. One by one, the last remnants of the XI carry invasion force were erased from existence. On board the Doombringer, Varak stood in silence as the alarms blared. Flames consumed the bridge. His empire's greatest fleet was now nothing but wreckage. As his ship began to fall apart, he let out a final bitter laugh. We should have never come here. Then, with a final explosion, the Doombringer was destroyed. And with it, the XI carry invasion was over. Earth stands victorious. As the final alien warship exploded in the sky, a cheer erupted across the planet. Soldiers celebrated in military bunkers. Civilians cried tears of joy in the streets. World leaders looked at each other in disbelief. Humanity had done the impossible. They had faced an unstoppable alien armada. And won. Inside the command center, General Carter watched the victory unfold. He allowed himself a small smile. "We sent them a message today," he said. "Humanity will never be conquered." But deep down, he knew one thing for certain. This was only the beginning. The final stand of the XI carry. The XI carry fleet was gone. Their mighty armada, once feared across the galaxy, had been shattered by an enemy they had underestimated, humanity. But some stragglers remained. A few crippled warships drifted through space, their engines failing, their weapons useless. Their crews, once proud conquerors, now faced the cold silence of defeat. On board the wreckage of the Twilight Fang, one of the last surviving XI carry ships, Captain Jormak struggled to maintain control. Smoke filled the bridge and warning sirens howled around him. "We must send a distress signal," one of his officers begged. "The High Command must know what happened here." Jormak clenched his mandibles. There was no escape. The humans had deployed a gravitational disruption field, preventing their fleet from jumping to safety. Retreat was impossible. And now, the Earth forces were closing in. Humanity's demand: surrender or die. From the lead Earth battleship, the UES Retribution, General Carter stood before a transmission screen, looking down at the last remaining XI carry vessels. "Open a channel," he ordered. A moment later, the face of Captain Jormak appeared on screen. The alien looked defeated, exhausted. His once pristine armor was scorched with burns, his pride shattered. Carter didn't smile. There was no joy in what came next. "Captain Jormak," he said coldly, "your fleet is destroyed. Your weapons are useless. You have only one choice: surrender or die." Jormak growled, his pride refusing to bow. "We are XI carry. We do not surrender." Carter's expression didn't change. "Then you'll die." He turned to his weapons officer. "Fire at will." The last battle begins. The final XI carry ships tried to fight back. Even in the face of certain death, they refused to kneel. But Earth's warships didn't hesitate. Missiles rained down, striking the last alien cruisers. Railguns punched through hulls, sending debris spiraling into space. Fighter squadrons swarmed, firing with deadly precision. One by one, the last remnants of the XI carry fleet were erased. On board the Twilight Fang, Jormak's final thought before the explosion was simple: "We should have never come here." With a final explosion, his ship was gone, and with it, the XI carry invasion was officially over. Earth's victory, and a warning. The battle was won. On Earth, people celebrated in the streets, families embraced, soldiers cheered, and world leaders breathed a sigh of relief. They had survived. Inside the UES Retribution, General Carter watched as the last enemy ship burned. One of his officers turned to him. "Sir, all enemy forces are neutralized. The battle is over." Carter exhaled slowly. For now. Because deep down, he knew this wasn't just a war. It was a message that would spread across the stars. Humanity was not weak. Humanity would not kneel. And if any other alien empire dared to challenge Earth, they would suffer the same fate as the HFY Carry. But even as Carter stood there, staring into the depths of space, a disturbing thought crossed his mind. The HFY Carry were not fools. They wouldn't have launched an invasion this large without absolute confidence. So what made them so sure of victory? His heart grew heavy as he realized the horrifying possibility. What if the HFY Carry were not the real threat? What if they were just the scouts? Humanity's victory, and a warning. The HFY Carry fleet was gone. Their warships, once proud symbols of conquest, were now nothing more than floating wreckage in Earth's orbit. Fires burned in the darkness of space, and debris drifted like ghosts of a fallen empire. Humanity had done the impossible. They had stood against a superior alien force, and won. The aftermath of war. On Earth, the world erupted in celebration. In New York, people flooded the streets, waving flags and embracing strangers. In Tokyo, fireworks lit up the sky in defiance of the invasion that never came. In Moscow, soldiers raised a toast to the brave pilots who had defended their home. For the first time in history, humanity had faced extinction and survived. Inside the UES Retribution, General Carter stood at the command deck, watching the battlefield through the viewport. The once pristine skies above Earth were now littered with the remains of the HFY Carry invasion force. A voice broke through the silence. "Sir, we've intercepted a final transmission from the HFY Carry flagship before it was destroyed." Carter turned, his expression unreadable. "Play it." The message crackled through the speakers, distorted and broken, but one sentence remained clear. "The humans are stronger than we thought. Send word to the Dominion. They must know. We have failed." A cold chill ran through the room. The Dominion. This wasn't just an invasion. This was only the beginning. The hidden truth. Deep in a secret underground bunker, Dr. Evelyn Grant, the lead scientist behind Project Eclipse, analyzed the wreckage from the alien ships. For hours, she had been scanning data, searching for anything unusual. Then, her screen flashed red. Her hands trembled as she read the findings. She immediately activated a direct line to General Carter. "Sir," she said, her voice tense, "you need to see this. Now." Minutes later, Carter entered the room, his expression sharp. "What is it?" Grant turned her monitor toward him. On the screen, lines of alien code and DNA sequencing flashed rapidly. "The HFY Carry weren't acting alone," she said grimly. "We found embedded genetic markers in their soldiers. They were modified. Engineered." Carter narrowed his eyes. "Engineered? By who?" Dr. Grant hesitated before answering. "By something much, much worse." She tapped the screen, bringing up a final image, an intercepted symbol from the HFY Carry data logs. A dark, jagged insignia, one that did not belong to the HFY Carry. Carter stared at it, his gut tightening. "What does this mean?" Dr. Grant took a breath. "It means the HFY Carry weren't the real threat." She turned to him, her eyes filled with dread. "Someone else is coming. The shadow of the Dominion." Across the vastness of space, in a distant part of the galaxy, a massive black citadel floated above a dying star. Inside, a figure stood cloaked in darkness, watching the data feed from the destroyed HFY Carry fleet. A deep, mechanical voice echoed through the chamber. "The humans were underestimated." A second voice, cold and ruthless, responded. "It does not matter. The HFY Carry were pawns. Now we move forward with the real invasion." The first figure turned toward a holographic map of Earth, its red glow pulsing like a heartbeat. "Prepare the fleets," it ordered. "Humanity has proven itself worthy of conquest." A deep, eerie silence followed. Then, a final whisper. "They will not win again."